Hi anyone, I'm Luppi, and we are playing some more Mario Minecraft. It's been a while, 2 weeks. The first week was literally just I booted up the game, all set up to record, saw that we did not save anything from the last time, and was like, screw this. Well, that wasn't my first reaction. My first reaction was no, 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 no. And I was very desperate, and I checked a bunch of things, even though I didn't think they would work, just to make sure we hadn't screwed up and accidentally had our dumb thing saved somewhere else. Okay, you need to come back. But yeah, no, we lost it all, unfortunately. So yeah, that's life. Unfortunate. So here we are. I don't know what we're going to do now because, well, I mean, I know what I want to do. And I know what we have to do. So we'll do what we can. Worst case scenario is... Oh, you got out? Okay, come on. Come on, Ding Dong. Get in here. Yeah, how have you guys been doing? I'm struggling as much as you can without actually really struggling. I don't know, it's just, the last week I wasn't really feeling that well, and I kind of was just pressed for time and decided I could have recorded a video, I could have recorded this video, but I decided against it just because I wouldn't really have had the time and I wasn't really in a space to do it, you know? And in some ways I still kind of feel that way. I'm still kind of stretched a bit thin. Not exactly 100% from Luppi here, but we're doing what we can. We're proceeding, going forward as much as you can. Today and probably next week's videos are going to be the most boring and painful ones, simply because we are trying to do everything we did last time. So this week, unfortunately, I've decided we're going to dig, and we're going to spend the entire time digging. There's not going to be any room for, there's not going to be any room for the other stuff, you know, the, making the lava generator, the chorus forest. Did we play with note blocks? I don't remember. My brain is kind of turned off from what we were doing in Minecraft, actually. I've got no clue. It's been a while. This feels weird. It feels a little clunkier than than Java does on the computer. So we'll do our best. We're gonna need torches though. And we'll probably want coal. I'm sure we've got a lot of extra coal. So this way we don't have to donk around for it. Beautiful. Do we have more cobblestone? Do we have any cobblestone here? I don't think we do. It does not look like we do. Okay. We do have wood though. Yeah, we got wood. So that should be good enough. I'm gonna go to bed. We're actually seeing thunder for once. And those dogs are drying themselves off. Okay. So let us proceed to the to the netherization lands, and then the new nether. Let us proceed to the new nether. And then we will spend an hour or two digging, hopefully talking about stuff. What am I hearing? I'm hearing splashing. But I don't know where it's coming. Oh, it's coming from over here, isn't it? No? Wait, isn't there the... Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Fascinating. Yeah, how are you guys doing? Did I ask you that already? I am out of sorts. I'm out of sorts. Oh, man. I haven't been in a good headspace, I'm gonna be honest. The last few weeks. Like, losing a week's worth of Minecraft sucks. Apparently a bunch of the older Smash Bros videos I uploaded, the replays, like the amiibo ones, like, I don't know if YouTube screwed them up or if they were just always mangled, but they looked really blurry and really bad. So I wasn't very happy about that either. And thus I started playing a different Smash Bros entirely. To be fair, I did want to play Smash 4 for 3DS for a while. And both of my cartridges are dead, so that sucks. So yeah, I'm gonna be, whenever I play Smash 4, it's gonna be digital, I guess. Because my physical cartridges are both dead. Which sucks. I don't like that. Apparently that's just a thing that happens with 3DS cartridges and just flash cartridges in general. The DS ones are a little sturdier from what I've read, but the 3DS ones are really random quality. So certain games, like Super Smash Brothers, I want to say one of the Persona games, or whatever, and a few other ones are really prone to it. But yeah, that's what I've been through. Trying new games because games I wanted to play are dead. You know what, actually, instead of doing that, let us pull all of this garbage, and then we have more stone. I mean, we'll probably want a pickaxe, won't we? I mean, we can make a pickaxe whenever we get around to it, you know, we can. It's not a big deal. And this about where we started our digging journey. How sad, how tragic. Have to do this all over again. Oh well, such is life. What can you do? Data doesn't last forever. And if you don't save, apparently, data doesn't get saved, so it doesn't matter if it could last forever. I don't know. The part of me that's, I guess my thing is, I'm kind of reaching a point where I kind of feel like maybe my time would be better spent if I just played games and didn't record them at all. And if I just kind of stopped doing the YouTube stuff. I don't know, it's cool to get monetized, like that was a goal. But I don't know, where do I go from there? That's kind of the question, I guess. I think I'm gonna stick the that's not the right thing. There we go. We might as well get as many of the planks as we can. Yeah, one thing I did though, and since the last time I saw you guys, I also pulled out the Game & Watch, the Zelda Game & Watch again. I have played way too much of the Zelda Game & Watch. I managed to beat Zelda 2, which I wasn't planning on it. I was just kind of donking around, kind of goofing, because usually with Zelda 2, I reach a point where it's just like, it's not worth it to keep playing. It's just too frustrating, too arcane, too much of a pain. But this playthrough went really well. I almost quit at 3-Eye Rock, which is the final dungeon before the Great Palace. And then usually where I quit with Zelda 2, if I don't get like hung up on in a dumb spot on one of the bosses, usually where I quit is like the path to the Great Palace. That's usually I'm usually not careful enough with my jumps and paying attention to actually make it to the Great Palace. But this time I did, and I was really surprised because usually I do not. So I made it to the Great Palace, and that was cool. We're gonna want more. We're gonna want as many shovels as we got. Okay, I think that's enough shovels. I think that's more than enough shovels. Actually. Very good. Very nice. Am I hearing something in real life or in the game? I don't know. I think that's real life. It's like this weird hum. Yeah, I think it's real life. It might just be like an airplane or something that was really loud. I don't know. That's weird. I usually don't hear stuff over the headphones. Weird. Let me get situated again. I took my headphones off and I got all not situated right. Let me get my arms real deep in my stupid sound buffering pillowcase. There we go. Now you shouldn't be able to hear my controller at all. Hooray. Who needs a noise gate when you can just use a pillowcase full of towels to muffle your controller? Not an ideal situation for every game, but for a lot of them, it's okay. It makes me really sweaty though. But hey, we have standards to keep. We may not have figured out the microphone or sound editing in general, but boy howdy can I keep you guys from ever hearing my controller tippity taps. Oh boy. And I am playing a different Smash Bros. Too. Like, I played Smash for 3DS and got my butt kicked really bad. But we unlocked all the characters and all the stages, so good enough for me. And now I'm playing Smash on 64. Don't know, I think it's only gonna go as long as it takes to unlock everything. And I know everything's like very subjective because you can say, well, we only want the characters. You could say, oh, we want the characters and the one unlockable level. Actually, we want the sound test as well. Actually, there are more rules we can unlock. So I don't know. I guess it depends how much of a pain everything is. I think the extra rules requires like 100 fights in versus mode though. So that might just be where we drop off. I might just say no. We played 8 of them to unlock the only unlockable level, Mushroom Kingdom. That's good enough for me. I'm tired of getting my butt kicked in Smash Bros. I don't know, I guess the one thing about playing like the older Smash Bros, and it's weird to say like the 3DS one is older, but it really makes me appreciate Ultimate a lot. Ultimate controls really well, I feel. Smash for 3DS doesn't always. Of course, it might just be the emulation and playing it with the Pro Controller. I don't know. Sometimes emulation and not playing it on the actual hardware does make the game feel different. So I guess I'd have to play it on a 3DS, which I can't. Dang. Or maybe I can. I think one of my 3DSs does have it actually as a digital thing. So maybe I should whip out that. Play the digital version. See if it's the same thing. Okay, so it's nighttime, which doesn't really matter too much when we're underground. But I say going to bed is always a fine idea, so might as well, right? But I did do a few other things while goofing off the last 2 weeks. One of those things was setting up the 3DS like emulation software. Azahar, I think it is. It works pretty well. It's not stable though on my Mac Mini, which is unfortunate. I feel like Citra was a lot more. It depends on the game though. Like it probably depends on the game, because I'm pretty sure the only games I tried on Citra on my iMac were Ocarina of Time 3D and New Leaf, I think, like the original New Leaf, not the Welcome Amiibo update. And that was just to test qualities and stuff. And I know I didn't like it that much when I tried it out. I don't know, like I wish the 3DS was a better system. And I say this, I have multiple 3DSs. I have my original 3DS. I have a new 3DS XL. Actually have two new 3DS XLs, because I have my modded one, I have my original one. And then I have the 2DS, which was actually my first, like, bonus 3DS, actually. So I had the 3DS for forever, since 2012 or 13 or whatever. And then I got the 2DS in, I want to say 2014 or 15. I want to say it was like 14 or 13. I don't know. It was Black Friday. My sister wanted to try it out for some reason, and one of my friends in college was like, "Well, if you do go to like Walmart or whatever, can you see about price matching and getting me like?" I think he wanted the Majora's Mask. Was it the Majora? It was one of the Zelda 3DS XLs. And I was like, sure, because I just want one of those 2DSs for like what, $70, $80? Like it was a pretty decent deal, I feel. So yeah, I use that almost exclusively for downloading games, because like Nintendo used to have this point system, so you'd always end up with points if you bought enough games or whatever. So like I'd use it to download random games to use up my points, and also I'd use it mainly for trading Pokemon. I was really big into X and Y. So yeah, that was my 3DS journey for the longest time. Then when I graduated college, I took out some of the money I earned working in the art studio there and bought myself a new 3DS XL. It was a red one, and I didn't really care. Like, I didn't have any preference for colors. And then it got damaged while moving, and that sucks, because it's really painful to fix those things up. Because you have to fix the screen, you basically have to take out everything and then put it back together in the correct way. And also you have to deal with the cords, and it's like, apparently it's really hard to deal with the cords and that little hinge. So I haven't fixed that up. I wish I did. I wish I had bought the screen back when like 3DS parts were really easy to find and weren't so painful to acquire. But still, it would be effort to fix it up. I complain about fixing up my iMacs and stuff all the time. And it's like, yeah, it is a pain. And I can't imagine a technological feat that is worse than that. And yet here we are. Okay, we're gonna have to... There we go. There we go, we can proceed in this area. Acquiring more and more dirt and whatever. And then I did acquire the modded 3DS, and that was more recent. That was like a year or two ago. And that was specifically because I was already recording stuff, and I definitely was interested in recording New Leaf and some other random 3DS games, so that's kind of why I did that. Spent too much money on that thing. For how well I mean, it does work. It's not the best solution, honestly. I don't know. At the same time, any game that requires like motion controls or touch controls, like playing it on the 3DS is probably the best way to do it. Unfortunately. Until somebody makes a way better, like I don't know. I don't know what you'd have to do. You'd basically have to have like Nintendo's Pro Controller quality with a modified controller specifically for like this 3DS console I'm dreaming of. One can dream. Well, all you have to do is you mod a Wii U to play 3DS games, and you use the touchpad on the gamepad, and then you use the gyro controls and the gamepad, and you're fine. I don't think you can do that, but we can dream. The tech is already there. It's just the software and the know-how. And like going back to like shitting on billionaires and stuff, if I had infinite money, I would constantly be hiring people just to make dumb game ideas and make dumb consoles. I would love an HD 3DS. That's all I want. Give me the 3DS hardware and software that I can just plug to a TV and play it with a controller. That's probably going to be gross and like the gamepad, but oh well, we'll deal with it. We'll suck it up. I hate the Wii U gamepad, but it's not the worst controller ever. It's got that going for it. I try not to be too negative about Nintendo systems because it's like you've owned so many. And you've played hundreds, if not thousands of hours on every single one. And it's like, yes, that's true, but I feel like if you spend that much time with something, like, you're gonna have opinions about it no matter what, right? And I do have strong Nintendo opinions. Strong Nintendo-flavored opinions. And then, like, I totally give them a pass and a buy on, like, things that other people think are unforgivable. So it's like, I don't know, it kind of balances out. I have very strong opinions about dumb stuff that affects me, or that irks me. I don't really care about everything else. Game Freak can keep pooping out the worst Pokemon games ever, and I'll still keep buying them and not playing them. I don't know. Pokemon kind of peaked with... I'm not gonna say X and Y because people loved, what was it, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. People loved, Sun and Moon. I never got in... Well, I got into Sapphire up until... I did a dumb thing where my water type for my party was Surskit. And Surskit can't learn Surf or Dive or Waterfall, so it's literally worthless for any of the multiple segments where you actually need to use those for like story progression. So I don't know, I kind of stopped when I realized I'd have to trade out Surskit for something that was a little more functional. And that's on me. That's not a Nintendo's fault. That's not a Game Freak's fault. That is entirely on me doing something kind of ridiculous. I don't know. I like Surskit. Surskit's pretty cool. I liked it a lot when Surskit actually started being kind of useful. Felt really bad when I realized actually any other Pokemon would have been better for this water type role. Why? Oh, why do we need HM slaves in our parties in older Pokemon games? You know what really irks me though, and this is like the people who talk about video games, and I know I mix things up all the time because I'm constantly tongue-tied and not really thinking, but I feel like people with scripts who make shorts or make videos on Pokemon, when they mix up the Pokemon Company or Game Freak or Creatures Inc. and Nintendo, like when they blame Nintendo for things where it's like, Nintendo owns a third of like Creatures Inc. and the Pokemon Company, which does give them a huge role in deciding, like, in dictating what, not less dictating, but like in communications with the Pokemon Company. But it's not like they're a majority like holder of shares or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, it is up to the Pokemon Company and its assorted like leaders and people to decide where the Pokemon games are going. We're probably gonna want a second chest for all the dirt, aren't we? That's kind of dumb to stick it all in the same spot, isn't it? I see that now. That was kind of dumb to just stand around while the sun sets. It is what it is. You guys watch anything interesting on the internet or on TV or anything? I've been really into game development, like tutorials, which is always bad because they always talk about how you don't want to be the kind of person who just watches tutorials and never actually like tries anything. But I don't know. I'm very interested in stuff. We'll probably put the andesite in here, actually. And we'll grab more shovels, and we'll grab more dirt. And we'll probably make more shovels. Let's just shovel ourselves up. That should be fine. That should be okay. Yeah. I'll stick the dirt in there, or the whatever, the stone. Yeah, the stone. Yeah, it's been a half hour and I haven't yawned, I think. That's awesome. Recording this simultaneously later than I'd want to and earlier than usual, so temporal paradox clap for me, I guess. Or you can insult me, I don't care. Whatever. It's all the same in the end. It's all just mere chemicals and reactions and weird life forms doing unexpected and inexplicable things for no real reason. It's fairly bleak when you put it like that. I don't know why I did. Probably because I'm not in a good headspace. I feel like I'm in a better headspace whenever I'm actually playing a game, though. I love video games so much. I like all kinds of things, though. Like, I recently went outside and walked to the little Dollar General that's kind of by me. And that was nice. It's always a very weird experience to be in those kind of stores, though. Because there's only really two modes, which is like it's literally empty, other than like you and the one employee. Occasionally two employees if you're like at a really lucky time, or it's like you and 18 or 19 different people all just kind of milling about, bumping into each other. Dollar Generals are neat. But I guess, like, I don't really leave my house at certain times, so being able to, like, at the time I did, which was, like, 6 p.m., like, I guess I never really realized how busy my hometown gets at certain times of the day. I guess, like, whenever I'm out and about, it's usually, like, at a really weird time. So, like, nobody's doing anything, which is nice. Like, I like being able to cross the street without having to worry about, like, cars. Like, it's a little different than, like, living in the city. Although the city usually had, like, the nice crosswalks, which would, like, tell you time to walk. Go. You have the right of way. Do it now. I miss those so much. Because I'm just trained by some of the intersections though from the city where it's like you gotta double check that people are actually stopping and they're not on their phones because you know you don't want to get run over. Even if you have the right of way, it doesn't really matter if you don't have your legs anymore, right? Or if your legs are inside you. Wasn't that a joke in a cartoon? I don't know. I feel like I didn't invent that though. I feel like that was like something somebody like, my legs are inside me. That's gotta be something from somewhere. I didn't make that up. I'm not funny or smart enough for that. Witty? I don't know. Is it really witty? I definitely am bleak enough for that though, I feel. But yeah, I've been watching tutorials, I've been trying to go outside. I think part of my thing is I'm just burnt out on doing the same thing every day. So trying to like mix it up is kind of helping a lot. And like I say I'm tired of doing the same thing and then it's like I get playing, like it's so hard to start doing something, especially if I haven't done it in a while. But like once you get going, like it's usually a good time. That's the kind of person I am. I dread doing stuff I enjoy until I actually like turn on the console, set up to record, go outside, you know, put the paper down and just start drawing, you know. I don't know, everything's painful until you do it. And then it's usually pretty good. And that just might be the undiagnosed anxiety disorder I probably have, or maybe I don't have. Maybe I'm just a normal guy with no undiagnosed disorders at all. And I'm just, you know, life is just a struggling. It's just fighting with yourself again and again and again and again and again. I don't think that's how it is. That doesn't seem very fair. Doesn't seem very right. But you know, it could just be the way it is. To be fair, I am a person who kind of does, like, enjoy adversity, though, a little bit. Like, I think that's why I like games like Zelda 2. Although, I don't know. Like, I hate NES games so much, but I do love them in certain ways. I like the ones that actually feel good to play, which I think is why I like Zelda 2 so much. Because as much as it's a pain with, like, how tricky and painful and cheap the enemies are, and how unbalanced the difficulty is, like, that's the big thing. The difficulty is not balanced at all. The leveling is a grind. But, like, man, does Link have the best movement for, like, a Nintendo NES game. There aren't very many characters that feel as good to move around and do stuff with as Link for the NES. I'll say that. I will definitely say that for Link. And I think that's one of the reasons I do like Zelda 2 so much, is it feels good to play. That is definitely a weakness of a lot of older games. And it's not just the NES, it is a lot of older games and systems. Like, I definitely enjoy the Intellivision games because a lot of them actually do feel good to control. I hate the Atari so much. It is... all Atari games are either adequate or barely movable at all. I hate them so much. Spent too much of my childhood playing the Atari until probably my older sister sold it. Or maybe it just disappeared. Maybe it's still somewhere. Maybe it died and my parents threw it out. Like they did for my NES. And it wasn't even dead. It was just it needed a new cord. Or a new pin connector. It needed something. It just needed a little love and attention. And they gave all the games to one of my friends, and it's like, no. Why'd you do that? I should be able to keep my games. Well, they're actually the family's games because your uncle gave all of us the console. And it's like, yeah, but I was the one playing them. It's mine. Mine. I don't know, that's one of my goals as an adult is to like slowly regain all the game. Like not the actual literal like, I'm tracking down the actual games I lost. Going dumpster to dumpster. Used game store to used game store to find the exact copies. But no, like definitely like, you know, having all the Marios, which I do. Having Zelda 1, which I do. Having the Ninja Turtles. I don't think I have any of the Ninja Turtles, and I think it's the first one we had. And then Ninja Gaiden, that's another one. We had the Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. collection pack, whatever. That was when we got in a garage sale. I miss being a kid and having people getting rid of all the NES games and like player's guides and stuff because they were buying their kids Super Nintendos. And like that's just what people did back in the 80s and 90s. If they got a new thing, they just get rid of the old one. And I think people still do that, but it's like I don't. I have all my old stuff. You can take my Game Boys and my Nintendo DS's and my 3DS's out of my cold dead hands. You can have them over my dead body. I will treasure them as long as I'm able to. And all the dumb little memories of time that could have been better spent doing literally anything else. But you know, if you get enjoyment from it, is it really a waste? Like, you only live one life, and yeah, you should be balancing it out, so like, you read a little bit, and you learn stuff, and you meet people, and you learn from them, and you know, you live the life you want, you know? If you value being loved and appreciated by people, then yeah, you should go out and be appreciated by people. Learn to be someone that people enjoy being around. And that doesn't mean you have to change yourself, it just means like being aware of the vibes you put out. Like, I'm a pretty off-putting and weird person, but I do try to like not be the guy who changes the vibe of a room when I enter it to like something negative. I don't want to be the guy where like I come in the room and people just stop talking because nobody's comfortable to say anything around me. I don't want to be the guy where, you know, I enter the room and people just start fighting with me. I don't know. I don't know if that's because I'm a people pleaser, or if that's just like, I've encountered a lot of really garbage people that are kind of like that, where they have no effect of not the influence they have over people, but the fact that they don't regulate themselves or they aren't aware of how they affect others. And on one hand, that's fine. You know, you only get one life, you might as well be true to yourself. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I'd hate to be the person where nobody wants to talk to me unless they have to. And nobody's gonna care if I leave or do anything, you know. I'd kind of like to be the guy where, you know, people are comfortable talking to me. Much as I dislike humans, I do enjoy talking to people. It's usually pretty fruitful to learn something from a person. Kind of hear some of their life's journeys. You know, you can only get so far with your own perspective. You can only get so far with your own reasoning. It kind of helps to have other viewpoints, other opinions bouncing around in our human skulls. And that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that's a bunch of wishy-washy hoo-ha. It sounds good to say, but it doesn't really apply in real life. I don't know. I think I have a point there. I think I do have a point that there's a lot to learn. And it's impossible to learn it all on your own, you know? Nobody, I mean, not nobody, but for the most part, nobody who's born in our current, like, modern society can survive entirely on their own, can do it all on their own. We all have a need for other people. Even if we don't like it, even if we refuse to believe it, we all do require a lot of other people to do a lot of other things so that we can live the lives we live. And if that's not a perspective, I don't know what is. Where the heck is the exit? It's gonna turn out we didn't dig one out. I don't know, we might not be far enough actually, I don't know. Sorry for leaving you guys in the dark. I am enjoying digging, I guess. We're getting the most out of... Okay, it is a bit further than I think it is. Ugh, my throat got really dry all of a sudden. Like that dryness you only really experience when you, like, swallow a hair. So I don't know what that's about. It's probably just I haven't done this in a week or two. And now I don't have the strength to talk for 2 hours. I only have the strength to talk for 45 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever the timer says. You can look at it. I've got a minute or two I have to cut out because that's just the getting everything set up. Getting the game turned on. Making sure we have the right save file. Oh, gosh darn it. I'm not gonna let myself live that down for a while. Unfortunate. But yeah, I got a lot of programs set up. I'm sorry I started talking about I'm sorry I'm bouncing around without any real focus. And one of them was the 3DS emulating software. It wasn't just the Azahar. Like, I also did manage to find Lime and Citra, and I want to say there's one called Tanuki 3DS. That's a thing, right? I'm not imagining that. But I kind of gave up on Citra and Lime because the latest versions of both of those are basically just worse versions of... Or at least the versions I've downloaded seem like they're just kind of like equal or worse versions of Azahar. So it's like, well, we got this working, and while it's not entirely stable, it's passable, you know. It's wild to me that the Nintendo 3DS, a system that is not really running anything, doesn't have too strong of hardware. Like, modern computers struggle to play its games. And it could just be like the Mac Mini's kind of getting full on storage. And it's not like it's the most powerful Apple computer I have. We should see how the Mac Studio does. If the Mac Studio has trouble, then it's gotta be an emulation on the Mac thing. And then I got the game making software I was playing around with last summer, working on the Mac Mini, so we can record that. And I got all my stupid, my headphones are falling off, excuse me. That was weird. Now I gotta get situated again. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. I don't feel situated, but I think we are. I think we're okay. I don't know. I do feel like I have a hair on my nose though now. If I would have known I'd feel like this, I would have wiped it off when we were messing with headphones. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna rub my nose, take a drink, and then get situated properly. Yummy, yummy water. Has no flavor, just how I like it. I'm not one of those people where my favorite flavor is plain, but like, I don't know. I appreciate water for what it is. I used to have a teacher who said he never drank water, and it's like, aren't you the cross-country or track teacher? I don't know. That's just... Water is good, man. It's enjoyable. A good time is had by anybody who drinks water, I feel. And like, I can kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm a big water drinker. I like water. Soda's good, but it's not really hydrating. It's not really thirst quenching, you know? And I'm a guy who wants to be quenched. I need things that are the quenchiest. Let's just use up this. Okay. We'll stick you there, and then we'll... That should be fine. We may want more torches, though, if I'm being honest. If we're thinking about it, we probably want more torches. Yeah, got the game making software. It's called RPG Paper Maker. It's pretty much like a drag and drop kind of thing. Like, it's got a lot of assets in it, so you can definitely start making games right from the get-go. I had to use the Steam version on the Mac Mini though. I couldn't get the actual like standalone Mac version to work on it. I don't know if that's because it's set up for Intel Macs or if it's because there's garbage. Like, I thought when I got it set up on the iMac, I thought there was an issue where the newest version wouldn't like load up on a Mac, but you could download one of the older versions and then upgrade from inside the app. I feel like that's how I had to do it. But I tried out all the versions. I kept downloading old versions, went down the list, up and down, and we couldn't get it to work. So we're using the Steam version on the Mac Mini, which is fine. It's the same thing, other than you have to have Steam open, which, I don't know, it's fine. It is what it is. It sucks because it means if Steam's down, you can't play it. Maybe you can. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I always get the feeling though that I don't know. It's probably fine. It's not like Steam goes down every day, so it's probably fine. And I don't know when I'm gonna have time to... I think if I was going to record RPG Paper Maker videos, we'd probably start off with like a showcase of all the very weird, incomplete tests I have, and then we'd probably pick and choose what we think we could turn into a like actual viable game the easiest, and then we'd kind of go from there, and we'd slowly complete all of these dumb ideas, or at least reach a point where we'd realize our ideas can't be realized as we envision them in RPG Paper Maker, and thus we'd have to write down what we want to do and then figure out a game engine that could. And then watch a lot of tutorials and actually learn a real game engine. Are we gonna learn to code next year? No. But it would be cool to actually make games. I think that'd be really cool. And even a programless game engine it's a step forward. If you don't know, if you've never made games, if you've never dealt with the random things you need to do to actually make a game, then even something that's got a lot of pre-programmed assets and doesn't really require coding, but still has a lot of options that are like somewhat technical, it's still learning. It's still doing. So yeah, I'm excited to mess around with RPG Paper Maker again. It was a pain though, because I had to, every time I tried to open one of my my old levels on the new computer, it would make me put in my password because like we don't recognize this file and it's probably harmful, and it's like, shut up, Apple. I hate the new Apple OSs, and I know they do that to protect you, but it's like I should be able to just set it where you just open everything. You don't need my password every freaking time. Shut up. This didn't come from the internet, it came from my other computer because I made this file myself. Gosh darn you, you stupid, idiotic program. I don't know, I do hate Apple a lot. I hate the way their software is very, not demeaning, but it does look down on you. Like, they look down on their users. And on one hand, you know, people are dumb. And, you know, fan people are also very stupid people with wrong opinions and wrong ideas and who aren't going to use your hardware or software right. But at the same time, like, the end user should be the one dictating their own experience. So why do you think you have the right to dictate my experience as the end user of my own computers? They're my computers. You conceded what I can do with this stupid piece of metal and junk the moment you sold it to me. You arrogant buttholes. Like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about Tim Apple. I know his name's Tim Cook, but, you know, that's one good thing I would say Donald Trump gave us. Tim Apple. I can appreciate that. I can use that in my day-to-day life. I can think about that sometimes. Well, that's about it. Not a fan of where things are going. Apple-wise, country-wise, politically, my life trajectory-wise. Other than, like, I don't know, I've kind of got an art studio now, too. It's a camper in my parents' yard, but I moved a lot of my sculpture stuff out in there, so, you know, I have room to do things, so that's cool. Now it's just having the time to do stuff. You gotta make time, that's the thing, you gotta make time. And I mean, I could make time by not doing all the dumb time-wasty things I do every day, but some of that stuff keeps me sane. Some of that stuff does just... Its only real utility is just sometimes you need an hour or two to just veg out and listen to YouTube videos. Like this, like the music ones. You gotta just listen to some good songs. Maybe emote. You know, have a good cry, we'll listen to a sad song or a bunch of sad songs. Listen to some, like, songs that get your, like, blood pumping and get your head bobbing. Listen to some happy songs, listen to some good old nostalgia bait video game songs. One thing I found on YouTube that I really enjoyed this week was, Dudes of Hazmat by, I forget who it's by, but it's on YouTube. Dudes of Hazmat. It's like a playlist. There's at least 9 or 10 videos of this little series about these two dudes in hazmat suits getting involved in some pretty science fiction-y and supernatural garbage and drop kicking things. It's really interestingly animated. Like, it's a pretty neat cartoon. With some really cool songs. So I would recommend it. Dudes of Hazmat. Definitely watch that, listen to it. Enjoy it. I know I have. Yeah, I don't know. Just gotta enjoy things each day, find something new to enjoy. Sometimes it's hard. Oh, you know what's really gross? I had a day where like my nose kept itching. And I didn't know why until I looked in the mirror and saw that like one of my nose hairs was like curling out of my nose. Like it just got really long for some reason. Yeah, it's gross. I grabbed a pair of tweezers and just pulled it out. And that was the wrong idea, but you know, it got rid of it. So yeah, that sucks about growing old. Your hair starts growing in new and dumb ways. And I don't like that. I'm not looking forward to like having ear hair that grows out of my ears. Like that's gross. Like, I mean, as long as it's like the awkward, occasionally too long nose hair, I guess that's fine. But I have this thing that's been happening like lately, like the last 2 or 3 years, where like my eyelashes will just poke my own eyes, and it's like, that's frustrating. And like, sometimes it's just they fall out and then they just want to dive into my eye, and it's like, no, don't. Your job is to protect my eye. Please just fall out and away, please. But no, they just wanna get stuck in there, so you have to mess around and like wipe them out. Not a fan of that. But yeah, it's something I never really noticed happening until recently. It happens too much. It's not a daily part of my life, but it is like, I don't know, at least a monthly thing. Which is too much. 12 times a year for having like an eyelash get stuck in your eye. That's too much. I'm gonna start using Nair on my entire face. We're gonna have an entirely hairless head. Just so I don't have to deal with eyelashes in my eye. So I don't have to deal with shaving. 2 birds with 1 stone. Hooray. No more shaving, no more eyelashes. Hooray. Yeah, like that's a bit excessive as a reaction, but at the same time, it's like, it is really annoying though. It is really annoying and uncomfortable and painful to have an eyelash in your eye, especially for an extended period of time, because you're not always in a position where you can get like a mirror and figure out where it is exactly and just wipe it off. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's definitely not something I enjoy. And now to balance out my negativity, one thing I do enjoy about getting older though is that I get less stomach aches than I did as a kid. And I don't know why I got a lot of stomach aches as a kid. Also, I got a lot of ear infections as a kid. I don't know why. I think it's just like kids are susceptible. So yeah, I don't miss that kind of stuff. Like, as much as I complain about a lot of things about growing up, like I don't miss the nights of having like sleep sitting up in a chair because your ear won't allow you to lay down. I don't miss having random horrible stomach aches in the middle of like doing something like a family dinner or, you know, school, or just, you know, just any sort of random thing, or just being a kid and not having any control of like where you are at a given time, and suddenly really having to use a bathroom, and like your parents just don't understand like the urgency at which you gotta like poop. And so like they're trying to find a bathroom or get you home so you get to a bathroom, but it's like we should have been home like 10 minutes ago, people. This is a dire situation. So I appreciate the not having those kind of situations happen as frequently as they did as a kid. I really do. I really do appreciate having a body that, you know, it's still falling apart. It's still very janky, but it seems a little bit more on my side than it was a mere few decades ago. I do appreciate that. Look how much we have managed to dig out. Hooray. Every day feels like my birthday. Every way I've got to savor the moment. I don't know if those are actually the words, but that's the theme song for Dudes of Hazmat. More or less. Broad strokes. It's probably not the entirely the words are accurate. What do I look like? Some knowing words guy? Some accurately Oh, you're up there. I see you hopping. And I was like, what is this? Am I in danger? Probably. And also, like, if we stay far away enough from the entrances, we probably won't draw anything to our position. That's good. Yeah, there's one thing I do need for my little camper art studio, which is a new lamp. I need a lamp in there. That's the only way I'm gonna get anything done on a day where it isn't sunny. Cause like it's just the windows are small. And it's not always the most well-lit place. Yeah, it's got electricity, so that's really cool. I hope it doesn't like burn down. You never know how these things are gonna go. Like my dad said it was fine, but you never know. I don't know. I'm wary of extension cords, you know. But it should be fine. And if it does burn down, then oh well. Glad it wasn't the house. As long as it's not me like leaving a heat gun on, you know, that would be bad. I don't think I've made a mistake that bad, art-wise. Other than the one time when I was in art school and I got my hand crushed under like under a machine. That was bad. Wasn't like permanent damage or anything, but it hurt. I almost fainted. Like, it was one of those, it was like a three-way press that we had to rotate around so that people could use it on the one side. And so we're rotating it back to its normal position, we're shutting down. And like the kid who was using it, we didn't get the wood blocks underneath it set up right, so I was adjusting them, but the kid who was, he pressed the trigger on the pallet jack while I was doing that and crushed my hand. So I probably should have communicated to him to like take his hands off the pallet jack completely. That would have been a really smart thing on my part. But like we weren't really, we usually didn't have to move it around while people were around or using it. Like usually it'd be someone would be like, hey, I'd like to use this. And it's like, okay, we'll move it for you if you need to. And it's like, okay. So it was kind of like a situation where I probably should have just been like, hey, you're not an aide, you're not a work study. Let me take care of this. Stand back, citizen. And I didn't, because like it is educational to just kind of be like, yeah, and here's the pallet jack, and you know, it's simple. You wheel it around, you put it under, you lift the thing up and down to make the actual jack part jack, and then there's the trigger to make it go down. Bing, bang, boom. Easy peasy. But Yeah, got my hand crushed under a machine. It was only for like, what? It was only for like, at most 10 seconds. Whatever time it took to get the attention of the kid and then have him jack it up again. But still, not ideal. Not ideal. And it could have been way worse. I could have actually lost fingers. I could have lost the entire hand. So the fact that I walked away with no damage, just a lot of pain, that was very temporary, is kind of a blessing. It's also really good that didn't experience any like crush syndrome. Like if you get a body part crushed, it can damage your organs because your body releases a lot of chemicals that aren't really good to have all in your body again. So glad I didn't experience any organ damage probably from that. I don't know. Always be mindful, always be aware. If you're doing things in a new way, be aware that that could trip you up. I think that's the important thing. If you're doing things in a new way, make sure you don't get tripped up. Keep an eye on your kids, keep an eye on your pets, keep an eye on your keys and wallet or whatever. Don't let yourself be tripped up. That's how bad things happen. Okay, so which way is... There we go, there's out. And it's daytime. We managed to dig all throughout the night. Hooray. I feel like whenever we reach a point where this thing is full, we're probably just gonna have to start bringing dirt to the, we're gonna have to start bringing dirt to the end, unfortunately. Okay, I'm gonna keep the food though. And then yeah, we're just gonna spend today digging, and the next time we will set up our lava thing and do our chorus forest again, and then maybe start terraforming the end. I know that's a big ask. It's kind of a big thing, a big deal. Well, we might as well, right? What have we really got to lose at this point? Other than time, insanity. And hey, we made it to our first hour and I'm still going. Hooray. Have I yawned yet? I think I did. I feel like I did yawn. I might not have. But yeah, back to RPG Papermaker. I feel like the reason I stopped working on it last year was just, I kept coming up with new weird ideas to try out and I couldn't figure out how to get them to work. And that's always a little disheartening. Where do I want to go there, because that's where the end portal is, right? We're not trying to get back home, we're trying to get to the end portal. The end portal. The portal that will end my life. The portal that will llama my pajamas. There we go. Hooray. I hear a guy. The guy heard me. I don't even care where he's going to be. I mean, I do a little bit. We don't have a weapon. We only have dirt and bread. What are we, in a 14th century peasant? A 16th century French person about to execute a queen and king? For the indignities we've suffered under their rule? I mean, it would have been more like 17th or 18th century, right? That's the timeline of the French Revolution. Because yeah, it was caused by the by the debts incurred by the French monarchy by funding the revolutionaries in the American Revolutionary War. And it wasn't the only thing. Like, there was probably a lot of expenditures that the French government for the monarchy did, but definitely didn't help. Definitely didn't help. Okay, let's put some dirt somewhere and then... Okay, I am gonna yawn though, unfortunately. Didn't really want to, didn't really mean to. But yeah, we knock out the digging a little bit this week, and then next week we will finally get caught up on all the events we lost. Unless I forget to save this time, in which case we're gonna stop playing Mario Minecraft forever. If I don't save this time, then we're done with Mario Minecraft forever. It's sad, but true. I can't handle it again. Can't handle it anymore. There's only so much I can redo. There's only so much I can endure as a human being, prone to failure. There's only so many setbacks my little boy heart can just handle. My 34, 35-year-old little boy heart. It is what it is. Okay. Hey, buddy. I'm glad you didn't attack me. Yeah, specifically, the thing I was trying to do, like the last thing I was trying to do in RPG Paper Maker last year that I remember, is I was trying to see if I could set it up where the jump would actually, like, move around. Which sounds dumb, but the way it's set up is it's set up for RPG games. It's RPG Paper Maker, duh. And your jump basically is like more for like cutscenes or effects where you just go straight up. It's not like going a distance. And I was trying to figure out if it was possible to utilize it in a way where you'd actually go like some distance. Like, you could maybe make an RPG Paper Maker platformer. And I couldn't figure it out. Like, I managed to figure out how to tie the jump button to, like, an actual button. Like, while you're moving. But, it just interrupts your movement so you jump up. It does not it does not move with your jump. It interrupts your movement so you can jump. Which is dumb. And maybe that's just because I don't really understand inputs and I don't understand the system really well. So I couldn't really figure out the way to do it, because I'm sure there's gotta be a way to do it, probably. Like, I'm always really impressed whenever, or at least when I was looking into this stuff, I was always really impressed when I saw what people were capable of doing. Because there was a guy who made, like, a deserted island game with an actual, like, in-game clock, and it's like, that's really cool. That's usable. Thank you. That's inspiring. But it's not really something I would ever figure out how to do. And there are a lot of really good or at least a few really good resources. Like, there's Digital Container, I believe is the YouTube name. They've got a really good guide on basically how to do a lot of stuff. They've got a lot of good short tutorials, like 1 minute to like 8 minute long tutorials on how to do random things, which is really cool. It was really helpful and useful when I was donking around with it. And it'll probably be very useful to get me back up to speed, because there's a lot of things I don't remember. It's been a year. I opened up a new map on the iMac just to kind of get a feel for it again, and it's like, yeah, I don't. Some of this feels natural, but some of it's just like, how did I do it? But yeah, I was really happy that all of the old levels do work on the Mac Mini. So someday we'll do a showcase of all those. And then we will probably maybe do, I don't know, I don't feel like I have the views or the subscribers to, no offense to you guys, but I feel like my average video doesn't really get enough like feedback to really make like a poll work. So I'll probably just end up just doing it as I feel like it. You know, if people comment like, yeah, man, I want to see that one idea. I want to see your like slime labyrinth idea play out, or I want to see your weird square dude idea play out, or I want to see this or that. Like, yeah, we can get it to work. We can figure it out. The real thing would be the real thing would be reaching a point where my throat's really dry again. Okay, I think I'm better. Nope, no I'm not. No I'm not. Okay. Alright, I think that's a bit better. Alright, cool. But yeah, I'd like to reach a point where we actually are just making ideas work. And even if we can't get them to work, like, you know, the platformer idea, like, we can still make a game based on, like, the vague idea we originally had. Even if it has to transform a little bit. It's fine. Like, we might not be able to make a platformer, but we can make a... We can make a frustratingly flat RPG. Heck yeah. Because, yeah, I think, like, big picture, that's what kind of turned me off of RPG Paper Maker was, like, the ideas I had just weren't... The ideas I have in general just aren't, like, ones that would work for the engine, which is fine. You know, it's a perfectly usable, very robust... Especially for being made by one person, like, Wano is amazing. For almost single-handedly making this game engine. Like, that's really cool. That's really impressive. That's super inspiring. If any of you ever play around with RPG Paper Maker, like, definitely thank Wano for making it. It's really cool. It's really impressive. Like, I'm not trying to like oversell it, but it is. It is really impressive. You don't really see that kind of happen every day. Someone single-handedly make like a game-making engine. And like, it does have a lot of jank, and it does have a lot of room for improvements. But also, like, this is largely one person making a game engine that works on multiple operating systems at the same time. Like, it's funny because I'm pretty sure the next update, whenever it's finished, is actually going to move everything to like a browser version, which I'm going to continue using the Steam version. I guess it depends on the features. I'd rather just continue using a local version if I can. At the same time, like, there are probably plus sides of a browser version. Like, you don't have to, like, I would imagine you don't have to have the issues of it not working on a Mac or not working on Linux or not working on this or that. As long as it can run the browser, then it should be fine. So I imagine it's basically just like, it's probably painful to have multiple computers with different operating systems, or trying to like finagle different operating systems to work on the same computer like that. Either way, it's a pain. Like, I get it. Especially if you're not used to like Macs, or if you're not used to Linux, if you're not used to Windows, like, yeah, it sucks. It sucks having to learn it It sucks having to struggle through it. I get it. I emulate games. I went to art school. Like, I am so used to having to run a stupid program so you can run another program that you need to make art stuff. Like, I get it. It sucks. But, I'm always impressed when people, like, kind of go above and beyond to do something. Like, again, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on it, but there is so much work that's been done on it, and there's so much you can do with it. Like, I hope I'm not... I hope I'm not singing the praises of RPG Paper Maker too much, because again, like, a lot of my ideas, and potentially all of the ideas I have, just aren't really functional. Like, I'm not really that interested in making, like, RPG games, actually. I'm more interested in seeing what I can do with this weird little game-making engine. Because there are a lot of people where, like, a more traditional RPG maker, like, RPG Maker, bing, bang, boom. Like, there are people who make games that aren't RPGs at all in that. Like, it's amazing what you can do if you know how to do it. And I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to do, while also not really knowing how to push things in the right way. And if there's anybody who knows how to make, like, actual, like, platforming jumping work in RPG Paper Maker, I would love to hear it. That's kind of my thing. I want to spread the good word of the RPG Paper Maker so that I can see what other people do. I want to see what more people do with it so I can learn how they do their cool stuff with it. And hopefully make some of the weird ideas I have for it work. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you have a community of people working on different things and doing different things, like, it does help. It does help to have people, you know, you have your people who are really good at, like, describing the basic features, and then you have people who are really good at, like, figuring out how to get the most out of each feature and how to push them to their limits, and people who know how to work the systems to get unintended actions. Like, I don't know. It's kind of an exciting thing because it is fairly young. It is fairly new. Still being worked on as far as I know. I'd be really sad to learn that we're not getting version 3.0. I know that's been worked on since I stopped playing it or using it. And it's pretty close, it seems like, now. So who knows, maybe sometime next year we'll see 3.0. That'd be cool. And maybe by that point we'll actually have some of our ideas done. There is, like, it is free, I do need to say this. If you're not making games commercially, like if you're just dicking around, gonna just upload them for free on, like, is it Itch.io or Itch.io, whatever it is, you know what I mean. Or if you're just gonna, like, make things for yourself, you don't have to buy the commercial version. The commercial version is paid, it's like $80. It goes on sale on the website, like, during the holidays, usually. Like, during the summer and winter. And it's usually, like, what, $60 or $70 then? But yeah, the commercial version's like a one-time payment thing, and then you can sell your Paper Maker game, so that's cool. I haven't bought a commercial version because I am not sure I can export games that'll actually play on the Mac. I've never exported any of the games I've made because I haven't really gotten that far in them. So my thing was I was probably going to mess around with it until I actually had a complete game. And if it works, like, it exports a usable Mac file, a playable Mac game, then I would be more inclined to. I guess that's my thing, is until there's a version where I'm guaranteed to be able to make games on it, I wouldn't want to pay for it. What sucks, because I definitely do believe that the dev team deserves to be paid for their efforts. They've made a really impressive thing, even if it is really janky. Like, it is really cool. I'm really impressed with it. So yeah, if you're interested in making games but you don't know how to code, or if you really like games that are kind of like, I don't know, like the 2D, 3D kind of games. Like, it's not good for like a Paper Mario thing because you can't, as far as I know, you can't really change like how the battles are done. And you don't have any real control over, at least yet. Maybe there will be an overhaul on, and maybe you can. Maybe it's just I don't know how to do it. And I've never seen a tutorial how to do it better than just the standard in-game, you know, battle kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm sure if you mess around with it, you'll kind of get a feel. If you've already played, if you've already used like game making software like Game Maker or RPG Maker, I'm sure you'll pick it up really quick. Because I've definitely used RPG Maker before. Never really made a full RPG with that as well. Only really played the 3DS version. I do have one of the Switch versions. I've never really messed with it too much, unfortunately. That could be another thing we do. We could just start a like an amateur game dev hour every week, you know, to stream playing a new game making game. We've got Game Builder Garage for the Switch. We've got RPG Maker. We've got RPG Paper Maker. Just spend an hour or two every week just doing that. That'd be cool. Maybe we should figure out how to stream. Get our stuff all connected. Start actually talking every day, so we're all limbered up and ready to go. Take care of my health so I'm not sickly and pathetic like I usually am. Heck yeah. Make a game. Make a game by 2027. Heck yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun playing Game Builder Garage, though, earlier this year. That's also another thing where, like, a lot of the ideas I had just weren't really achievable in the software, but still, it's still fairly robust for what it is. And having limitations isn't always a bad thing. It's sometimes good to have constraints because they do force you to kind of figure out alternate paths to what you want to do. Sometimes being able to just do whatever you want to do isn't really optimal. Look at all the games that are like 100 or whatever gigs, and they're just like not better than similar versions of games that are like, what, less than 1 or 2 gigs? Like, I don't know. Sometimes less is more. But if we don't have voice acting, if we don't have tons of voice lines you'll never even hear in the game because you're not going to do everything, what's the point? What is the point? I don't know. I think whenever we use up these shovels, we'll probably call it a day. We're definitely reaching that. I'm reaching that point where I'm definitely getting tired. So yeah, whenever we reach our... Okay, that's good. Whenever we reach the point where we've used up our shovels, I guess. I'm sure it'll probably be pretty close to 2 hours anyway, so... Oh well. Not like we're saving ourselves time. Oh, we found a cave. Cool. Probably should light that up a bit, I guess. Okay. Interesting. There's a lot of dirt that I'm missing, though. Unfortunate. The nighttime? Maybe. We're also under trees, so... Could be any time, really. You never know. It could be any time. It could be probably bedtime. It's definitely getting that time, actually. Yep. I'm ready to shut everything down and go to bed myself, really. That's what it's all about. When you've worked hard, you've done the stuff, and then you can finally just turn everything off and go to bed. Hooray. That's what I live for. Every gosh darn day. We do have a lot of shovels, though. At the same time, like, do we have enough? I don't know. Oh, hey, we found our thing again. Cool. Wow, look at us go. Huh. That was a weird noise my stomach just made. I like a honk. Weird. Man, I'm out of it. I should have recorded this a lot earlier. Should have recorded this last week. Oh well, it's fine. We move ahead at our own pace when we need to, when we can, right? It's okay to take rests. We live in weird times, and you know, you gotta take care of yourself first. Although you should probably be looking out to take care of other people as well. You never know if somebody needs it, and all that. Oh, there's another shovel down. Hooray. Probably try to knock out this block of... or these blocks of dirt, and then... we'll probably call it a day. Thank you for watching me mentally stumble through things again, and then also, you know, the stuff I always do. Mentally stumble. Do the exact same thing we did last time. A lot of the boring stuff, you know, the boring crap. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys whenever we see each other again. Look at all those chickens. We are surrounded by things that hate us. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. Or fortunate if you like fighting, I guess. Wow, you're pushing me around even though you're underneath my thing. Okay. And then we're gonna put all our dirt in here for now. Okay, he's just living his best life. Good. Good. And then we're probably gonna want a pickaxe as well. And we do have more torches. So that's good. We'll pick up more torches. And then we'll get back here, and then we will get back to doing our daily stuff. We're gonna leave everything that isn't stone. Or everything that isn't in the way of us collecting the usual stuff we're trying to collect. There we go. But yeah, I was messing around lately in RPG Paper Maker in a new map. Instead of working on any of the old stuff, I worked in a new map just to see how big I could make a world and still have it be like functional and readable and like visible on the thingy. And like, I don't know, I guess I still have to finish it. I got hung up on slopes. because there's no stairs or like ladders. So if you want to go from like a higher area to a lower area or a lower area to a higher area, you gotta have slopes. And you gotta use those kind of like stairs. And I screwed up them somehow. I couldn't get them to actually like work. Like the first set I did worked, and then the third and second didn't. And I couldn't figure out why, because I hadn't changed my parameters at all. So I don't know. But as far as I can figure, there's two things at play probably. From what I've read, the ideal like slope to walk on is basically you set the height as a number, and then you also set the border as a number, and it's the same number. So like if your height is 4, your border width is 4, and that'll, by having it be 1 to 1, that keeps the angle at 45 degrees, and that's the angle that the game is looking for to keep you able to walk on it. So if you don't do that, then you won't be able to walk on it. So I think I did that wrong, but it's weird that it worked once and the other 2 times it didn't. But there's also a bug where if you make a slope on like a chunk border, it's not readable as like an actual mountain. It's only right, like you go through it. So I think that's also an issue. And that's a known glitch, and that's a glitch that should be fixed in the new version of RPG Paper Maker whenever it comes out. I don't know, you can check the website and see that if it's more than 90%. So I'm pretty sure, I feel like in my head 90% was the last number I saw. I could be wrong, it could only be 70 or 80. Like, I feel like I saw it and I was like, oh, that's really close. It's been a year since I played it. I've messed with this stuff though, but I don't know, we'll see. Like, I definitely think it's a cool app. And again, it's got a lot of work and it's really janky, but I don't know. It's not the worst app I've used. There's definitely a lot of them that are a lot more painful. And the fact that it doesn't kill my computer is also, hasn't killed any of my computers yet, is really cool too. Appreciate that. Well, I don't think I have any programs on any of my computers that ruin them, other than the one iMac with the RAM issues. Google Chrome shuts that thing down hard, and not in like a black screen or like a reset way, just in like it can't do anything at all. Like everything just gets frozen if you use Google Chrome on it. Don't know why. Other than it probably has RAM issues, so I assume like Google Chrome just like uses up too much of the RAM, or like freezes the RAM or whatever, takes too much of the RAM. I don't know. It does something and then it becomes pretty much worthless, which sucks because like, you know, if a random program opens up Google Chrome, or if I open it up, so that's where some of my random stuff is saved in tabs. Like, it sucks to like flip the coin, and will my computer continue to work, or will this be the time where it decides it's not going to do anything for the rest of the day? We were doing so well. Why did you betray me, 2000? Okay, I thought there was a creeper in here. But nope, now it's just me seeing the grass and freaking out. Okay. Cool, cool. Put down some more torches, though. Torches. And I really would like, I'd like some time to play the new Pokemon game as well. I haven't played Legends Arceus, so I'm a little sad about that. But it's like, you know what, let's skip it and just play Legends ZA. That's it, right? It's ZA, it's not Zaza or whatever. I keep hearing people make fun of it on the internet, so I don't know what is or isn't anymore. All I know is like people are complaining about everything from the Mega Evolutions, which, you know what? Fair. Mega Evolutions used to be cool. The X and Y ones were really neat, I feel. Some of them were kind of dumb, but like if you saw them in action, they were kind of cool. Like Mega Gengar's kind of funky. Or maybe he's not. Maybe I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Gengar's, whatever the special moves are called in, Pokken. Like, whatever, like, the finishing move thing is called. You know what I'm talking about. Like, when he becomes the big, like, bounce house horror tent thing and eats the opponent. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I think Mega Gengar is probably okay. He's got the third eye, right? And he's got the little arms. Floats around, or like glides around on the ground like a little ghost slug. Yeah, Mega Gengar is okay. Who am I thinking of then? Wait, I just said I'm thinking of the Pokken thing. Okay, yeah. I'm really out of it. I need to go to bed. Go to bed. Wake up, edit videos, export videos, upload videos, record more videos. Oh, we're back in the grind. Hooray. At least today all we gotta do is get some Smash Bros done and get some more Animal Crossing uploaded. It's not a bad day at all. We're on... I mean, I wish I was in bed right now. Like, that would make things a lot better. But, we're kind of on schedule. We're not horrendously off schedule. So, we'll see. Heck, I might even... I look at the time, and it's too late to get any more Zelda in. That's too bad. I think I just made it to the Island Palace on... I'm playing the new game plus of Zelda 2. I beat it, and now I wasn't going to, and then I just started donking around with it again, and I'm back into being addicted to Zelda 2. I will say the early game of a new game plus is really nice because even though you don't keep any of your harder magic containers, you do keep all your levels and all your spells. So it is a little more convenient, although it's also kind of funky because there's a lot of magic at the start of the game you can't use because it's too expensive. So that's neat. But we have gotten 2 magic containers and 2 heart containers, so you know we're probably fine for another 2 or 3 dungeons until we can get everything else. Or no, I did the Island Palace. I'm at the Maze Palace, I think. Because I need to go through the maze and find the kid and the magic container, and then yeah. And I mean, I don't have to find the kid because it's a new game plus, and I already have all my magic. But I might as well do the side quest anyways. Like if we're gonna save Hyrule either way, like might as well. Sure, it's pointless, but you know, it's a kid. It's a sick daughter. It's a trophy that needs to be found. You know, it's not any real skin off my back. I'd be wasting my time in this game either way, so might as well. Okay. And we've got one more shovel to add. Cool. Yeah. I don't know, one thing I've been trying to do though is make my own assets. Instead of using the pre-made ones in RPG Paper Maker, I've been trying to figure out how to get better at making sprites, and I suck at it. I suck at making static sprites, I suck at making animated sprites. I try. It's something you only improve if you keep trying and doing it and learning how other people do it. But, and also kind of sucks because there's a lot of sprites available to, like, copy and use that won't work in, excuse me, in RPG Paper Maker that well because, like, it's got really weird parameters as far as I'm aware. And I could be wrong. It could just be me being dumb. but that if your like sprites aren't the same size in every part of the sprite seat, it gets really weird and doesn't like know how to line them up, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know how to make them like do the little like static idle bouncy thing like the in-game pre-made ones do. Like anytime I do it, like they'll like do a little hop instead of like moving up and down from like the head. So I don't know. I don't know how to set it up. I'm probably just gonna have to look at the pre-made stuff and figure it out. Or maybe just look through tutorials and see if they have got tips that are like, oh yeah, if you do this thing, then of course it's not gonna work the way it should. You gotta do the thing. And it's like, I didn't know to do the thing. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I don't know, making a game from scratch, or making a game even with an engine, but making all the assets yourself, like it's a daunting task. It's a lot of stuff to do. You know, making your title card and making your menu thingies and making all your icons and making your items. Like, you know, your multiple sprites for every item and making all your stuff. Like, yeah. There's a lot to be done. A lot that needs to be done. Making your own music, importing your music, making sure it works in your engine. Making sure it sounds good in the game. Making sure it plays at the right times and is a good volume, or the volume's controllable. There's a lot of things to think about. And I'm just the guy who just wants to think about, wouldn't it be cool if we had Paper Zelda? Wouldn't it be cool if you played a Pokemon game but you were Pikachu? Instead of being a trainer, you were just Pikachu, and it's Pikachu against the world. You don't even catch other Pokemon, it's just, you gotta defeat everything, everyone. Pikachu against the world, baby. I feel like that would be a cool ROM hack, actually. Pikachu against the world. I hear a spider. It can't get in here, I think. Watch me be wrong about that. Man, though, we've been digging for a while. We have been digging for almost 2 hours. And it's good because we're getting further than we did last time, because we focused the entire time on this. And we have a crap ton of dirt to bring to the end. So that's good. But boy, oh boy, was I not looking forward to this. So I'm glad we got a decent amount of it dealt with. Hopefully we get even more dealt with at some point in the future. Hopefully I have a lot more cool things to say, and hopefully I'm a little less burnt out because we're doing different things and trying to live a varied and enriching life. It's not just for hamsters and lizards and other kinds of pets, it's for everybody. Try to live an enriching and varied life. If the animals in Animal Crossing need it, then you probably do too. I know I do. Onward we go. One thing I do have to do this weekend, though, is see if I can get Melee working. Get a version of Melee working on something so I can record it. I don't care if it's emulated or if it's like a real copy on the GameCube or the Wii. I just need to see if I can record one and have it be good. This would be a good opportunity to actually like pull out the Wii and then see if the HD Wii cord works. If it does, then we may actually start playing GameCube games on the Wii, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'd like to play GameCube games on the GameCube, but the GameCube cord does leave a very noticeable hum. And I think that's because it's one that, like, it has a USB cord that needs to be plugged in to power it. Okay, so now we're outside. I see where we are. Cool, cool. Probably not the smartest thing we've ever done, but, you know, we'll leave that exposed. It gives us a good idea of where this stuff is, I suppose. As we dig all about. Gives us a slightly better idea of where everything is underground, I guess. Like, we're getting somewhere. We've definitely dug out a fair amount. At the same time, it's like there's a lot more to dig out, and there's a lot of dirt to place somewhere. Oh boy, we'll probably be removing endstone though, I think first, so we can redo our chorus forest, and we will probably be doing other stuff. So I guess look forward to next time where we do something a little different than just whatever we're doing now. You know, mumbling in our sleep. Digging for 2 hours. I'd appreciate it if you didn't try to hurt me. That'd be really cool. And then let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Okay. So we can't open the door because that guy is all up in our stuff. Oh boy, he really got me. And these guys are also gonna try to get me. So we'll get them first. Can't see which ones are the big ones and which ones are the small ones. It's just, it is what it is. I did encounter some of my neighbor's dogs though when I went to the store the other day. One of them literally ran out of the house to cross the street and bark at me, which was not good. That's kind of a stressful situation. Not because I'm afraid of a dog that I can kick, but because I was really worried the dog would get run over. Like, the owners did come out immediately and apologize, and they got their dog in. So, happy ending for everybody, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of weird. And then when I was walking home, there was an older man walking his dog, and the dog kept looking at me, and it's like, well, you know, understandable. I'm a new guy. I've got bags full of snacks. You can't have any, doggy, but I understand. I understand your concern. I don't think you'd like Cheetos, though. And I definitely don't think you should be having these, like, not Hostess cupcakes. Whatever the off-brand Hostess cupcake lookalikes are. I got a box of those. Spent too much for 6 of them. Like, at least with the Hostess, you spend $8 and you get, like, what? 18, 20, 12? Like, I don't know. Things are too expensive. And maybe they were always expensive and I just didn't notice it. But I miss the days where, like, you could buy 10 Pringles for $10, you know? Now it's like you get 4 and that's like $12, and it's like, what the heck? How could you do this to us? Pringle people. Prongles. What company makes Pringles? Like, it's not a Frito-Lay thing, is it? I don't know. That's something to look up, I guess. That's not something we get distracted by and then don't sleep when we need sleep, but that is something to look up. What's the company behind Pringles? And maybe what's the original company behind Pringles, and did it change? Did it get bought out? I don't know. There's a lot more of these guys. Hello, friends. I see you. You do not see me. A tired guy. Yawning. Oh no. Yeah, I'm definitely winding down though. Energy-wise, intellectually, we are not ready for bed yet, but we are definitely napping mode, almost. Definitely winding down for sleep mode, I would say. But yeah, if we don't save this time, I'm not gonna play Mario Minecraft ever again. I'll try to be really good about it, but I'm really tired. So if there's no video, well, there is a video today. The video is a separate thing than me saving this game file. They're two entirely different things. But yeah. Let us put the dirt away. And then position ourselves in a different way. What am I doing? Oh, okay. I was like, why is the dirt going back in my inventory? Well, because my cursor went down the bottom and now it's on the top. I'm sure there was a more descriptive way to describe that, but you know what I mean. You know what we're trying to say here. We filled our thing with dirt. Hooray. We spent an entire 2 hours digging. Didn't quite get back everything we lost last time, but you know. Progress is slow. Progress is fleeting. I want to place myself in a spot where I won't end up falling into the abyss if things go awry. I think this should be fine. There's no reason to look at all this stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. We can see Princess Peach from here. That's fine. So yeah, we dug for 2 hours almost. I rambled about random things I did over the last 2 weeks. Probably repeated myself a lot. Yawned a few times. My body made weird noises because I'm full of Cheetos and cupcakes. Yeah. Hopefully next week I'm a little more with it. Hopefully we're back to a normal schedule. Back to the usual grind. Unfortunately or fortunately enough, you know. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do enjoy being here, even if I complain. We may change things up by next year. Maybe even this year. That'd be nice. Changing things up a little bit anyways. With Smash Bros, you know, so that's cool. We'll probably keep doing Animal Crossing the same way until we're done with New Leaf. Welcome, Amiibo. We'll just keep editing and uploading those videos as we have the time to do so. And we will keep playing it until we're done playing it. Which actually, that might be spoilers, isn't that? Huh. But yeah, well, we'll just keep doing what we can. I'll see you guys next time, and bye.